How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another brand new Rise of Kingdoms video. I'm your host Korriban Gaming, and for today's commander guide video we will be going to Genghis Khan, the ruler of the steppes. Okay, so Genghis Khan is a cavalry commander. He is the first of the season 2 commanders or series 2 commanders inside of the game, and he is still very strong and very relevant in today's game. Why is that so? Let's go through his skills first. Alright, so his first skill, Chosen One, attacks a single target, dealing massive damage up to a maximum of damage factor 1700 when it's maxed out. But what is special about this ability is that it causes only 950 rage instead of your standard 1000 that you see on all of your other commanders. 1000, 1000, 1000, except Genghis Khan is 950, which means he can pop off this skill slightly faster than his peers. Okay, second skill, Cyclone of the Steppes. Okay, reduces rage cost of active abilities by 100 at max level and increases cavalry march speed by up to a maximum of 15%. When troops led by this commander are attacked, this march speed bonus will be lost and troop march speed will be further reduced by 10%. Now the rage requirement reduction is really good, which means instead of 950, that's right, you guessed it, this skill now causes only 850 rage to use. That's just crazy. 850 rage compared to 1000. You could be firing off an extra skill or two like every few rounds, you know. That is amazing. But that is not even the best part. Cavalry march speed bonus 15%. You pair this with a Cao Cao, that means you will get the highest possible march speed inside of the game, assuming you are not in combat, you have not engaged anyone. Cao Cao plus Genghis Khan secondary will give you the maximum amount of march speed inside of the game with full cavalry army, of course. And as long as you are not attacked, and if you're, let's say you're being chased or whatnot, there is no way people can catch this march unless they have the exact same march and whatnot. You can of course increase his march speed further through the use of runes, your city civilization, and of course through the equipment. Okay. Third skill, Nomadic Empire. While the army led by this commander is at more than 70% strength and contains only cavalry units, increases all damage dealt by 30%. This is crazy. So the higher the health you have, and assuming that your army is full cavalry, which obviously you want to be bringing full cavalry when you have Genghis Khan, okay, your damage will be increased by 30%. This skill is quite often overlooked, especially in rallies. Why do I say that? Is because if you can keep that rally topped up at above 70% strength, which is, I would say, usually quite hard to do, but if you can, try to keep it above 70% strength and you'll have an extra 30% damage boost, which really helps regardless of whatever you're rallying, whether it's a city, it's an objective, or you know, whatever other stuff it is. Okay, last skill, Military Lifestyle. When the army led by this commander contains only cavalry units and has been reduced to less than 50% strength, increases skill damage dealt by up to a maximum of 30% and grants an additional 25 rage when attacked. So the threshold, if you are bringing a full cav march, when you're above 70% you get this 30% damage boost, and when you're below 50% you get additional 30% damage boost to skill damage. This is better because this is damage boost, which means all sorts of damage: normal attack damage, your skill damage, your counter attack damage. 3 different types of damage. This, on the other hand, is only skill damage, so keep that in mind. However, you do get an additional 25 rage restored when attacked, so that will help him to pop off his first skill even better. And his expertise, probably the most important skill for Genghis Khan, is if the Chosen One skill is used while the army led by this commander contains only cavalry units, grants a 30% chance that the Chosen One skill can be used again instantly. So you can repeatedly pop off his first skill and deal a large amount of nuking damage if you get lucky. 30% chance is not small, but it's not super large either, but you know, it is probably one of his best skills. For Genghis Khan, I would say you definitely need him expertise to use him well, because of his expertise skill is just so freaking strong. He's like only half the strength without his expertise skill, in my opinion. So really need Genghis Khan's expertise skill. I am working on Genghis right now and getting pretty close. I would say I'm missing 160 master. I'm missing 128 more golden heads before I can max him. Recharge event is here, and of course you have the Arc of Osiris going on and the family events going on right now. So lots of gold heads to be earned, and I hopefully should be able to max Genghis Khan really soon. Hopefully by the end of this month. I'm thinking maybe within the next 2 weeks I can max him. Okay, so the skill build, there is literally only one talent build that you want for Genghis Khan, and that is this one right here. So this is a nuker style talent build for Genghis Khan. You don't want to pick up latent power because he does not have any additional skill damage. This one just gives him so much reach. He's like a machine gun on the battlefield. This is absolutely insane. You just keep firing off skills one after another, one after another, one after another. Even when his reach bar is not full, you get the 30% chance from his expertise skill to fire it off again. That's just crazy. For even more damage, I would say you can take out 3 points from Emblazoned Shield and put them inside of Naked Rage. But keep in mind, Genghis Khan is super squishy and he is probably one of the top few targets inside open field battle. So if you do this, then be prepared for Genghis Khan to melt even faster. Even more so if you pair him with a Cao Cao. But that's why in my opinion, I would prefer to pick this up to give him just a little bit of tank, though Genghis Khan doesn't really last super long on the battlefield. But it's better than nothing, you know. If you pick this up, you'll just like go down in like 5 seconds or something like that. So I will not advise picking up Naked Rage, and of course you want to pick up every single thing that gives you Rage to boost his Rage even more. So that's very important. Versatility 3 completely useless, don't even touch that. I don't even know why versatility 3 is a thing inside of this game. Like literally nobody invests a single skill point to the versatility 3. Let's be very honest right here, okay? So this in my opinion is the best and the only skill talent build for Genghis Khan that you want to use. Alright, now next up, let's go into pairings. Alright, so the first pairing you can pair him with is Cao Cao. Why is this such a good pairing? It's because of Cao Cao's expertise skill. You get an increase of 25% for your cavalry attack. That being said, your cavalry defense is decreased by 10%. So this is the second highest damage build you can pair him with Genghis Khan. So it's really good if you have Cao Cao expertise, and Cao Cao is also the first legendary commander that you get inside of all of your daily chests. So most people should have, long-term players at least should have a max Cao Cao by now. So you pair him with Cao Cao is really good. Alternatively, you can pair him with Minamoto. This is one of the highest nuking damage builds that you can have inside of the game. I'm not sure if it's the highest. I think Edward and Tomiris is slightly higher, but still Genghis Khan and Minamoto is a super close secondary. Okay, so you want to pair him with a Minamoto because Minamoto has his own nuke as well. Really strong nukes. You get a boost to your attack bonus here, 20%. Not as much as Cao Cao's 25%, but you know, still better than nothing. Cao Cao gets a 30% here as well. So yeah, but again, Cao Cao's nuke isn't as strong as Minamoto's nuke, and of course Minamoto's expertise means that you get extra damage factor and whatnot, and of course you have a 10% chance to increase the damage that your target takes by 30%. This really helps with Genghis Khan's skill and machine gun firing off. Okay, so these two are the top 2 commanders that you can pair with Genghis Khan. Another legendary commander that you can pair him with actually is Frederick. Yes, that's right, not many people actually pair him with Frederick, but Frederick has a really strong nuke of his own, and if you want to burst down something, then you can pair him with Frederick. He's not such an optimal pairing in my opinion, but it's still a really good pairing. On top of that, you get a bit more tank with Frederick simply because of Frederick's healing skill right here, and also you get this increased troop capacity, which 1, not only increases the damage they can deal, but 2, also increases a lot of tankiness for your Genghis Khan's march. So it's really good to pair him with Frederick as well. Next thing that you can pair him with, Saladin, really popular pair. Okay, Genghis primary, Saladin secondary. Okay, Saladin gives quite a lot of tank, and it gives a lot of stats, 20% to attack, 20% to defense, 5% to march speed. Saladin has a nuke of his own, can reduce the healing effect as well. So Genghis Saladin just counters any Richard army basically, and that is why it's so freaking strong for rallying. You get a lot of tank with Saladin from his third skill, skill damage taken reduced, counter attack damage taken reduced also. And then if you're rallying a city, then you deal even more damage, extra 15% damage. So that's just fantastic. And if your Saladin is expertise, you get an extra 300 damage for his primary skill as well, and of course an extra 10% reduction to your enemy's healing effects. So Genghis Khan and Saladin, one of the most popular rallying builds inside the game. If you want more tankiness, you can put Saladin primary and then Genghis Khan secondary. If you want to go for more damage, then you can put Genghis Khan primary and Saladin secondary. For stuff like Sunset Canyon or Lost Canyon, I would prefer putting Saladin first, because tanking is always better than damage or nuking inside of Canyon. Don't ask me why, that's just how the game it is. So if you have these two commanders in your inventory, then and you want to use them for Canyon, then I'll advise you putting your Saladin primary and your Genghis Khan secondary. Okay, Takeda, not that great in my opinion. Takeda boosts normal damage, which you don't really have a lot of, so I'm not a big fan of using Takeda with him. Okay, for free-to-play players, you can use him with Pelagius. Pelagius is pretty good. He has a damage factor of his own, but of course it's still quite low. But then you get this really good skill right here, 15% extra stats to your attack and your defense respectively, and of course you get a little bit of tank with this heal right here. You can also pair him with Baybars for some AoE damage. This works really well in stuff like Ark of Osiris, whereas where if you're going to the mid lane, you want lots of damage and lots of AoE. On top of that, Genghis Khan is a pretty fast march, so he's actually a great. This is actually a great pairing for those low spenders or free-to-play players if you want to play Ark of Osiris mid lane. Okay, you can pair with Belisarius if you want to do some farmer killing. Not that great, but you know, a lot of people like to use Belisarius for killing farmers, and you can do that as well for a really quick march, though it is not one of my favorite, but it's still decent. Okay, I think I won't talk about blue commanders and below. I don't think it's worth pairing him. So minimally purple commanders, and I would think everyone has access to a few max purple commanders anyway, so yeah. Okay, and one last pairing that you can pair him with for PvE, you can pair him with YSG. That's right, guys, you can pair him with YSG. This is one of the best, if not the best pairing for a lot of Ceroli bosses. Okay, for Kiera, this is the best pairing. For the ice boss, I forgot what her name is, this is also the best pairing. And even for the last boss, I would say this is quite a good pairing as well. In fact, this is a good pairing for all three Ceroli bosses. So for Ceroli event, the best pairing you can have is a Genghis Khan primary and a YSG secondary. Why is that so? It's because even though you're losing out on two skills of YSG, which is okay, 1.5 technically, you still get this rage restored here, but then like you're missing out on this 100% archer attack bonus, which is quite huge, and this garrison, which is completely useless when you're doing Ceroli, but you get this extra 50% skill damage bonus, which really helps. And why is that so? Is because Genghis Khan, you can keep popping off the nuke because of his expertise and his high damage skill, which makes him really good for Ceroli. You don't want to tank Ceroli for too long. You want to take down all of the bosses as quickly as you can. And most of the Ceroli bosses, 2 out of the 3 summons all these small little annoying minions, and you really want strong AoE to take them out. And because of that, you have YSG as your secondary commander. So that is basically all of the pairings or viable pairings that I feel that you can do with Genghis Khan. So I hope you guys have found this guide helpful. If you have, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to this channel for more of such future content. Till the next time, I'm your host Korriban Gaming. Peace out.